welcome to another edition of the Weekly Blend with me, Abdulai Barrie. And in this week's edition, I'm going to be taking you throughout today's and this week's edition. And it is going to be based on police brutality, political influence on the George Floyd issue. And for that, I want you all to stay tuned as we go through today's edition. Let's go for a short break by looking at the first video of the incident.
Yo! Don't resist, bro!
I'm not!
Don't resist, bro! I got it on camera, bro! Don't resist, bro! Don't resist, bro!
Get back! This is why you
Get back! I got it all on camera, bro!
stand up!
It's bleeding in the fucking head. God damn! I got it all on go.
Welcome back. As we've seen that video from Brooklyn before curfew, you see, there's something beautiful in that video. You have to know that in that video, the citizen who was holding onto the camera was advising the one who was being put under arrest on not to resist. And even though that person wasn't resisting and saying, I am resisting, it was something like the person was, as the police had to hit the person. And it is not, I don't think it is just. Do you understand? Like, when you're putting somebody under arrest, like it's happened the same thing again. You didn't tell the person why you were arresting that person. And you had to hit the person, and the person didn't resist you. And you were there like acting as if it just had something running through my mind like, is the police going to force these people to resist so they're gonna kill more lives? You just have to ask yourself that question at some point. You see, it is just something inhumane. You see, you're arresting a citizen of your own country. It is not a matter of you going out there to just find a means through which these citizens are going to resist, and you try to kill them or put them under arrest. And I love the particular thing that the lady on camera did. The person on camera did, because I didn't see the person, but I kind of think it sounded like a lady. But however, I love what she did. She was there to advise our fellow citizen on not to resist, and things went peaceful from the citizens' part, but really much dangerous from and it was chaotic from the police officer's side. So I'm gonna ask again, is that just? Answer on the comment box below. As we go for another video, stay tuned.
No, she did not.
We watched her.
She put her hand up. She put her hand up.
Right here. She's gonna come with us.
Don't hurt her. No, don't hurt her.
Hey,
Don't
don't
hurt
get
her.
hurt.
Okay, wait. Why are you putting the flashlight in my face? Why are you putting it on her? Yo, what the fuck? This is an unmarked car. Who is this? Who are you?
You follow us, you will get shot. You understand me?
What is happening?
Where's she going?
They're fine.
Where's she going?
Where are you taking her? Where? You have to tell us where you're taking her. Where are you going? Where are you going? Help us! Help us! Who is this? Who the fuck?
Welcome back to the Weekly Blend with me. As we set our eyes on that video of a police arrest in San Diego, we all know that is very much brutal, as we've seen from the social media, which is the TikTok forum, and we know it is not called for like that in a democratic state in which the people have the rights to protest. Ladies and gentlemen, as we've seen what happened from that video, we saw a lady being arrested, and there is another lady kneeling on the floor or on the ground asking for them to tell why they are putting that lady under arrest and where they're going to take the lady, in which the police refused to respond to the question from that citizen of the United States of America. These police officers have to note that these people they are arresting are also citizens of the United States of America, and they have the rights to protest on whether they were protesting or not. And you see, one thing these police officers have to notice that you shouldn't go to an extent to threaten that other lady in that particular video, telling her if she follows you, you're gonna shoot. Is that called for? Well, I'll leave that to the audience to answer, or the viewers to answer, because I myself cannot answer that question. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't just stop there. There is a lot more about police brutality. Stay tuned as we go for another video.
Hey Senator, why is it important for you to be out here today?
We need a voice against racism. We need many voices against racism and against brutality. We need to stand up and say that Black Lives Matter.
This time, the video we just set our eyes on is a peaceful protest video. Ladies and gentlemen, in that particular video, what makes the Washington DC protest seem very much peaceful is as a result of them having Senator Mitt Romney, who joined them in a peaceful protest. And you see, when they have the government by their side, when they have the leaders with them, when they have the leaders protesting with them, what do you think happens? It becomes peaceful because they know the people they are crying out to are supporting them. So if the government of the United States of America just think it twice and start to act like they are, if not act, but join the people in the protest, like they're going to assure the people we're going to give you justice, instead of going out there to fire tear gas and pepper spray on the people, it would be nice and the whole protest will be peaceful as the one in DC, in which Senator Mitt Romney himself joined in the protest. As we go for another video from the social media, please stay tuned as we unfold the story more. Back, ladies and gentlemen, as we've just set our eyes on the Seattle protest, sorry, not the Seattle protest, but the London protest. Ladies and gentlemen, you see, these people in London who are out there to protest were not just protesting because they are blacks or they are just against racism, but they are tired. They are the people who are saying enough is enough. You see, they are tired of police brutality killing the black race. These people out there protesting are global citizens. They are not just citizens of the United Kingdom. They are global citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that these particular people involved in this protest are there, and they are not going to stop until they get justice for George Floyd. You see, the protest is so interesting and important and also dangerous to a point that violence is involved, peace is involved, and other countries with the exception of USA are also involved in this protest. And for that, I want you, the viewers, to drop your comments down below on how you see the George Floyd issue. Stay tuned as we go and take a look at another video of the George Floyd protest.
I say it again, what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Weekly Blend with me, Abdulai Barrie. As I earlier told you that this week's edition is going to be centered around police brutality and the political influence of the George Floyd protest. We just are not going to stop there. As you saw the last video that just played from social media, the TikTok forum, take note, there is a part where President Donald Trump himself says to the black community that they're so poor and they are so whatever he termed them. I cannot term them like that. He says they've got nothing to lose. Like, what the hell you've got to lose? So if the president, whom these people are crying out to peacefully, and some have already gone wild and they are tired of that, if they are crying to the president of the United States of America to grant them justice in this particular issue, why wouldn't he do it peacefully and let the people believe that they have a president for them, not just for the white race or the black race? You see, President Trump himself says, like, what the hell you've got to lose to the black community out there? So I cannot talk much about that because the protesters are answering to it and they are saying no peace, no justice. So I believe the protesters out there do not care whether they are having or they do not have anything to lose or they've got something to lose. What they care about is no peace, no justice, and they're crying enough is enough. Let us unfold the last and surprising video for the protesters and each and every viewer of the Weekly Blend in this week's edition. This is the surprise I have for you. The last video that we're gonna play is the most interesting one. Stay tuned and stay connected as we unfold the surprise on the George Floyd issue.
George Floyd is not here.
The state's attorney general announcing new charges for the 4 officers involved in Floyd's death. Charges for fired officer Derek Chauvin were elevated to include second-degree murder. The 3 other officers are now charged with aiding and abetting murder. If convicted, each faces a maximum of 40 years in prison.
George Floyd mattered. His life had value.
Back, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, that video was going to be the surprise, and I believe it is a surprise to each and every person who is concerned about hashtag Black Lives Matter, concerned about enough is enough, concerned about no justice, no peace. Well, that I believe is justice for you, ladies and gentlemen. As we see, Derek Chauvin was charged with a second degree murder, and we have the other 3 officers charged with aiding and abetting murder, which is nothing less than something of a maximum of 40 years imprisonment. And I believe that could serve as justice to George Floyd's death and to a lot of other black people who I believe have been killed as a result of police brutality and their race being something that is a reason for their death. Ladies and gentlemen, as we unfolded that video, we saw something beautiful from the police department and what they've charged Derek Chauvin with, a second-degree murder, and charging the other 3 officers with aiding and abetting murder, which is something not maximum to 40 years imprisonment. Well, this is awesome, I believe, for the people and the whole world that seeks justice for George Floyd and the black community out there in the whole wide world. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last video for today's edition of the Weekly Blend with me, Abdulai Barrie. As we come to the end of this week's edition, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned on my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook, Abdulai Barrie page. You can also follow me on Instagram, Barrie A. The Weekly Blend is here for you, for me, and for us all. Stay tuned and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the alarm for more of my videos on the Weekly Blend Show and more. Thank you. Till next time.